There's a subtle pattern that many of us move through life without noticing, a quiet echo found in the last number of the year you were born. This is not about a random digit, but about a resonance. It's a gentle indicator that points toward the rhythm of your inner world, your inherent strengths, your deepest struggles, and the great work of your lifetime. In the traditions of old, numbers were understood as reflections of energy. They mirrored the great cycles of the world around us, the motion of wind, the flow of water, the stillness of earth, and the spirit of fire. This exploration is not about predicting a future. It is about understanding your inner landscape. Your very being, much like a garden, grows from a certain soil. The final digit of your birth year is a clue to the nature of that soil. Many of us overlook these quiet signals, but the path of awareness calls us to observe the small currents, because these small currents often reveal the direction of the great river. Today, you will be invited to see what each of these numbers reflects, not as a final identity, but as a gentle guide, a mirror to your own tendencies, your emotional patterns, and your spirit's compass. Whether your year ends in 0 or 9, or any digit between, each one suggests a different pace, a different lesson, a different invitation. And somewhere in these reflections, you might recognize a truth you've been quietly moving toward, a part of your own nature you have felt, but not yet given a name. On this path, my role is to share these insights with you, grounded not in doctrine, but in deep awareness. I invite you to walk this path to the very end, as clarity often does not appear in the first few steps. Sometimes, it waits for us at the horizon. There is a quality of silence that holds more power than any sound, a stillness that has no need to be noticed, yet from it, the entire world is born. This is the quality of 0. When your birth year's last digit is 0, you resonate with the essence of pure potentiality, the sacred quiet that exists between all things. In deep awareness, 0 is not an absence of something. It is the presence of everything waiting to be. It is the vast, open sky before the first light of dawn. It is the space you find between an inhale and an exhale. It is the profound pause where the noise of the mind fades and a deeper truth can emerge. A spirit aligned with this feels different, not in what it wants, but in what it has learned to release. While the world may value accumulation, the 0 spirit finds wealth in simplicity. While others run toward the noise, it is drawn toward the quiet. This inclination comes not from a place of lacking, but from a profound inner knowing. Yet this is not always a simple path. The world is often puzzled by those who do not constantly strive, who do not measure themselves against others, who do not live in a state of hurry. The deep lesson here is this: your strength is found not in what you accumulate, but in what you have the courage to release. A mind that is already full has no room to learn. The soul of 0 must aspire to be like this open space, receptive, clear, and ready. The mind will urge, you must acquire more. But a deeper wisdom responds, become empty, so that life itself may flow through you. The person on this journey does not look for external validation. They find solace in stillness, while others get lost in the flurry of activity. They practice listening not to formulate a reply, but to simply understand. This is not a passive state. It is the very source of inner mastery, the kind of strength that cannot be taken from you, only discovered within you. Remember, 0 does not add more noise to the world. It adds meaning to the silence. When 1 is the last digit of your birth year, you resonate with the soul of beginning. You are the one who starts the journey, who takes the first step into the unknown, who chooses to act before the way forward is fully known. In timeless wisdom, this number represents not just a starting point, but an inner spark. It is the fire of intention emerging from the stillness of potential. A soul with this energy often carries both the gift and the challenge of carving a new path. You are not designed to simply follow a map. You are designed to draw it, to be the first to give voice to a necessary truth, even when it is unwelcome. The first to act when all others are frozen in hesitation. The first to hold a vision for what could be, even as the world holds tightly to what has been. But here is the essential challenge. Because where the impulse to lead arises, the shadow of the ego often follows. The mind can whisper, "You are a leader." And in that moment, you can lose touch with the stillness that is your true source of strength. From a place of deep awareness, we learn that even the one who forges the path must honor the journey itself. Humility is not a diminishing of self, but a profound understanding that the path is always greater than the traveler. The soul shaped by one must cultivate discipline, not as a way to direct others, but to harmonize the self. The heart must learn patience before it can guide wisely. The voice must know the value of silence before it can speak a truth that heals. Without this inner alignment, the spark of initiation can become an uncontrolled fire that consumes rather than illuminates. A beginning is not about being noticed. It is about a sacred responsibility to initiate what is right, even if no one is there to witness it. To walk your path alone, not with a sense of pride, but with a quiet, unshakable courage. To plant a seed with the knowing that you may never sit in the shade of the tree. True power is not in being the first one there. It is in remaining true to what is right, even when you stand by yourself. That is the essence of one. That is the spark from which all new things are born. When 2 is the final digit of your birth year, your soul's journey is one of harmony. It is the path of finding balance, not by avoiding life's tensions, but by discovering how to be still in the very center of them. This is the way of the mountain and the valley, of the sun and the moon, of action and of rest. It is not about valuing one more than the other. It is about the profound realization that both are part of the whole and both are essential. A spirit like this may often feel a pull between opposing forces, the drive to act and the need to be still, the call to be strong and the wisdom of being gentle, the logic of the mind and the knowing of the heart. But the deeper invitation is not to pick a side. It is to see that both energies reside within you, and that mastery comes from honoring both. Ancient wisdom teaches that the master is not one who is shielded from life's storms, but one who can breathe calmly in the middle of one, not reacting, not running, but remaining entirely present, stable, and deeply rooted. Like a great tree, which yields to the wind but whose roots hold firm. There is immense power in that inner stillness. The person who charges ahead without awareness gives away their strength, but the one who can remain still within their own inner turmoil sees with clarity, moves with intention, and acts only from a place of wisdom. Discipline for the soul of 2 is not about pushing feelings away. It is about listening to them without letting them become the master. It is the practice, day by day, of holding opposites without breaking, to be powerful yet gentle, to be courageous yet humble, to be expressive yet silent. You may often feel the pressure of this contrast, as if you are living in 2 different worlds at once. But this tension is not your weakness. It is your great teacher. It is the very condition that forges your spirit, not in moments of ease, but in your conscious presence during moments of difficulty. To live as the 2 is to hold this truth peace, is not the absence of life's challenges. It is the ability to stay calm, centered, and complete, especially when the world around you is not. When 3 is the last digit of your birth year, your spirit carries the light of expression. This light is not meant to be loud or overwhelming. Its nature is to be clear. It doesn't burn for attention, but to illuminate what was once in shadow. A soul with this resonance is drawn to communication, not for the sake of making noise, but for the sake of creating meaning. Ancient wisdom from around the world suggests that our words are like seeds, to be sown with care, deliberation, and pure intention. The lesson was clear: speak with less frequency, but with greater presence. A master of any craft wastes no motion. In that very same way, a spirit that is awake wastes no words. So many speak from impulse, from reaction. But the soul shaped by 3 is called to speak from a place of deep clarity, to share insight, not just another opinion, to use words to build connection, not separation. Yet this powerful gift requires great care. Without inner cultivation, expression can become a performance. Without a foundation of stillness, our words become light and carry no true impact. Real mastery is found not in saying more, but in developing the wisdom to know when silence is the most powerful response, in learning to be with your own truth until it is ready to be shared. It is allowing your words to emerge from the deep, still waters of your being, not from the restless waves on the surface. The one guided by three must practice deep listening before speaking and deep understanding before responding. A voice becomes powerful not through its volume, but through its harmony with what is true within. Remember, a single sentence spoken from a place of full presence has the power to shift the course of a life. But words that are empty, no matter how many, will pass like a breeze, felt for a moment, but never truly received. When your silence and your speech both arise from the same place of mastery, your spirit becomes a living bridge between your inner world and the outer world. And in that state, every word is a mirror of your stillness, and every breath is an affirmation of your truth. When the last digit of your birth year is 4, your spirit finds its shape through structure. This is the energy of foundation, like the 4 directions on a compass or the 4 seasons of the earth. It speaks of stability, of patience, and of the profound strength that comes from consistent, grounded action. You may discover a deep sense of peace in methods, in the rhythm of daily practice, in the reliability of what is known. This is not a limitation. It is the body's wisdom reminding the often chaotic mind of a simple truth. Peace is constructed one step at a time, not through giant, dramatic efforts, but through small, conscious acts repeated with full presence. The challenge for this spirit, however, is rigidity. When a healthy routine hardens into a wall, when stability creates a resistance to what is new and necessary for growth, you become like a house with no windows, safe but stagnant. The wisdom of nature reminds us that even the strongest tree must be flexible, or it will break in the storm. Your practice must stay alive. It requires the energy of awareness, or it hardens into mere control. True life-giving structure is born from a calm mind, not from a need to manage anxiety. When your mind is still, your actions become fluid and precise. This is the inner truth behind all profound physical disciplines. The posture is firm, yet completely relaxed. The body is in motion, yet it remains deeply connected to the earth. To master the energy of 4, the soul must learn to build with an open hand, to be dedicated without becoming attached, to repeat a practice, but to stay awake and curious within it, allowing it to refine you, not to confine you, and through it all, to continually return to your anchor, your breath. Because no matter how impressive the outer structure may be, it is the quality of inner space that determines its true power. A building is called sacred not for its walls, but for the quality of silence it contains. This is the journey of the 4, steady, resilient, and disciplined, but with the ever-present awareness that stillness is not the end of movement. It is the sacred origin of all meaningful action. When your birth year's final digit is 5, you resonate with the very pulse of change. This is the energy of movement, of the wind that is always in motion, of the river that is never the same from one moment to the next. A soul shaped by 5 is here for the experience of life. It is drawn to the unknown, to the wisdom that is waiting around the next bend in the road, to the new perspective held in another story. You may discover that remaining in one place for too long feels heavy, that structured repetition feels like a cage, even if others find peace in it. But the wisdom of inner practice teaches us a profound lesson. Movement without a center becomes a form of escape. It is only by knowing how to be still that we can understand the true reason for our movement. This spirit is here to explore, but not to wander without purpose. Genuine freedom is not found in a life without structure. It is found in the ability to choose your own direction with profound clarity. The inner work for the soul of 5 is learning to stand with calm in the midst of life's storms. It is feeling the pull of new emotions, the rush of new desires, the excitement of new possibilities, and yet choosing each step from a place of deep intention. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is what gives it direction. It is the gentle hand of wisdom that guides the restless mind back to its deeper purpose. The seeker who walks a difficult path barefoot does so not to deny themselves comfort. They do so in order that every single step may become a fully conscious act, that every step becomes vibrantly alive. If you are shaped by 5, your inherent gift is your resilience and adaptability. But your true power will only emerge when you can move through the world without losing your connection to your inner anchor. When your choices are no longer just reactions, but true reflections of your core values, then you are no longer just carried by the winds of change. You become like the mountain, still at your core, but able to move with wisdom when the time for action has arrived. The soul of 5 must learn to hold this sacred balance, to freely explore the world outside, while never losing sight of the world within. When the last digit of your birth year is 6, your spirit reflects the nature of service, a quiet, inner impulse to care for, to support, and to nourish others. Those with this energy often feel the struggles of others as if they were their own. They possess a natural compassion, a profound sensitivity not just to what people say, but also to the feelings they hold in silence. But this path of service has its own subtle challenges. When you give and give without ever returning to replenish your own inner well, the spirit can begin to feel depleted. You may feel weary, drained, and disconnected from the very source of your compassion. And herein lies the great lesson. It is not possible to pour from a cup that is empty. A guide who has forgotten their own way cannot show the path to another. Timeless wisdom reminds us that service without inner balance is not an act of strength. It is an act of self-depletion. Even in places of deep practice, where the days are devoted to the needs of the community, every day must begin with a return to the self, a moment of inner listening. This is not an act of selfishness, but of profound responsibility. Without inner clarity, all our outward actions can become clouded. To truly be of service, you must first be present with yourself, to sit with your own mind, to honor your own inner needs, to let the quiet of your own being cleanse the noise you have absorbed from the world. Only from this place of fullness can you offer something that truly helps. Only then can your support be clear, steady, and coming from an authentic place. The soul of 6 must learn the quiet discipline of creating boundaries, to understand when to offer help and when to step back, not from a place of not caring, but from a place of profound wisdom. Because often, what others truly need is not to be rescued by your energy, but to be inspired by your example. And in this way, you become a bridge, not by sacrificing your own well-being, but by standing firmly in your own center and inspiring others to find theirs. This is the highest expression of service, not to carry others on your shoulders, but to gently awaken the strength that is already dormant within them. When the last digit of your birth year is 7, you carry the spirit of the seeker, one who is naturally drawn to the truth that lies just beneath the visible surface of life. This is not a path of outward noise. It has no desire for the spotlight or for recognition. It finds its way through silence, through quiet observation, and through periods of solitude that people around you may find difficult to understand. The number 7 resonates with the stillness of a secluded place in nature, where one might go to sit for long periods, facing nothing but the truth of the present moment. And why? Because when all external distractions fall away, an inner truth begins to make itself known. When there is no one else to perform for and no identity to uphold, the deeper self has room to breathe and arise. This is the beautiful gift of the 7 soul, a natural calling to look deeper, to find truth not in the words of others, but through your own direct, unfiltered experience of stillness. But this path has its own unique trials. It is easy for the seeker to become disconnected, to confuse the practice of solitude with a state of separation, to come to believe that true stillness requires a permanent withdrawal from the world. Yet, the wisdom of a balanced life teaches us that even the one who finds peace in solitude must eventually return to connect with others, not to seek validation, but to serve and to learn. Human connection is a powerful mirror. Our relationships can reveal to us the things our solitude cannot. Mastery for this spirit is not found in hiding from the world. It is found in learning the rhythm of when to retreat into stillness and when to return to engagement. It is the powerful ability to be by yourself without ever feeling lonely, and to be with other people without losing your connection to yourself. Discipline lies in the wisdom to know that not all silence is healing. Some silence is born from fear, while other silence is born from a state of pure awareness. The seeker's task is to feel the difference. So, embrace your natural need for depth. Protect the quiet spaces that nourish you. But do not forget that the journey to truth is not meant to be walked in complete isolation. Just as quiet moments reveal the self, your engagement with the world reveals your soul's part in the greater whole. When you find balance in both, you are walking the path of awakening. When your birth year ends with the digit 8, you carry the resonance and wisdom of the great cycles of life, of beginnings that loop back to become endings, and endings that seamlessly become new beginnings. This is the spirit of fulfillment, the one who has journeyed through a vast landscape of experience, often carrying lessons not just from this life, but an echo from across a longer, unseen journey. There is a deep, quiet knowing inside of you, an inner understanding that wasn't learned from any book, but was earned through experiences that have been etched upon the heart. A spirit like this may often feel an inner sense of maturity, a natural quietness, a more reflective nature. The frantic energy of the world may feel distant at times, because a part of you already recognizes the natural pattern of all things, the rising and the falling, the gaining and the letting go, the sound that is always followed by silence. This profound awareness is a great strength, but only if it is held with true humility. The subtle challenge for this soul is the mistaken belief that having wisdom makes one separate or superior, but wisdom that needs to be recognized by others is no longer pure. True, deep wisdom is humble. It has no need for validation. It simply serves from its own nature. The great, old tree doesn't need to speak of its own shade, and yet its presence offers comfort to everything beneath it. In the wisest traditions, the true elders were not the ones who spoke the most, but the ones who had learned to listen from the deepest place. They gave of themselves not to be praised or remembered, but because it was the natural expression of their spirit to do so. This is the deeper calling of the 8 to share without any need for reward, to guide without any need to control. Discipline for this soul is learning to hold its own power with a gentle hand, to have influence without force, to share what it knows, not to create an impression, but simply to uplift. There is a profound strength in quiet generosity. There is a quiet honor in service that is never seen. The circular nature of 8 is a reminder that we do not accumulate wisdom in order to feel above others, but so that we can meet them where they are and gently help them find their own way when they have forgotten their own inner light. When the last digit of your birth year is 9, you carry the clarifying fire of completion. You are the soul that knows how to bring things to a natural close, the one who can gently tie the final thread, who helps to bring journeys full circle and closes the chapters of life with a sense of dignity and peace. There is often a settled quality within you, a quiet sense that the journey has been a long one, and that many great lessons have already been deeply integrated. But with this fire of completion comes a profound responsibility. The act of completion is not merely about getting to the finish line. It is about understanding the art of when to persist and the wisdom of when to release. To finish something well requires total presence, without attachment and without anxiety about what comes next. It is here that inner mastery truly shines, in the ability to act with absolute clarity and then to let go with absolute peace. Timeless wisdom teaches that every true ending is also a new beginning in disguise. What may appear to be a closure is very often a deep transformation taking place. The apple that falls from the branch is not a sign of an end, but the very act of planting a new seed. And so, the soul of 9 must be careful not to grow too attached to the things it brings to a close. If you hold on for too long to the ending, you prevent the next beginning from taking root. Discipline for this spirit is a subtle art. It is the discipline of graceful surrender, of placing your trust in the natural timing of life, of knowing in your heart that you have done what you were meant to do. And now is the time to stand back, not as a retreat, but as an act of profound wisdom. You may often find yourself in a position of guiding others, not through asserting force, but through a calm sense of certainty. Others may listen to you, not because your voice is the loudest, but because your words feel as though they come from a place of lived, earned experience. This is your great gift, not to lead others with noise, but to teach them with your own unwavering presence. And as each great cycle comes to a close, remember that a fire doesn't only consume, it clears the way for new life that is waiting to emerge. You are here not just to bring things to an end, but to help prepare the fertile ground for that which is not yet born. So, you have now been invited to contemplate the deeper resonances behind each final digit. Please do not see these as rules, but as reflections, as a gentle opportunity from life to pause for a moment and look within. Remember, the number does not create your identity. It simply points toward a doorway, a pathway that can lead you to a greater sense of self-awareness. You are never limited by the number. You are only ever shaped by how you choose to respond to the reflection it offers you. True mastery is never found in the chasing of external meanings. It is discovered in becoming a living expression of awareness through your own breath, through your own actions, through your own stillness. The path of inner work reminds us of one simple truth. Know your true self, not through what others say of you, but through the profound silence within you. And so, as you continue on your day, I invite you to carry this gentle awareness with you. Be aware of how you communicate. Be aware of how you move through your world. Remain anchored in this present moment. The deepest lesson is not found in these words. It is found in how you choose to live them.